All right, class, happy Thursday. It's Halloween. Just kidding, not yet. But today is one of my favorite math lessons ever because I get to get my witch hat out. This is what I wear to and from school most days. Just kidding. I only wear it for my selfish parentheses class so that you always remember that parentheses sound a lot like a witch. Yeah, they got that little squeaky voice. They're like, me first. Say it with me. Me first. And so today when we're going to study parentheses, and notice I put it in parentheses, how to solve problems with parentheses, we always say, selfish parentheses, say me first. You got to say it like a witch. I got a little hoarse throat from coaching basketball the other night, but it's selfish parentheses. You got to say it real scary witch-like. Always say me first. And what does that mean? That means whenever we find parentheses in a problem, we're always going to do what's in the parentheses first. For example, if I have 4 plus 4 plus 2, this is actually called the associative property. It works both for addition and for multiplication. And so we do what's in the parentheses first. 4 plus 4 is 8, and then we bring down our plus 2, and our answer is 10. Okay? Now, why would we care about parentheses? Because if we did 4 plus 2, we'd get 6. Plus 4 more would be 10. It doesn't matter for addition, nor does it matter with multiplication. However, we're going to get some problems like this. 8 minus 4 minus 2. And for subtraction, these parentheses are pretty important. Because if we go 8 minus 4 in parentheses, and the witch says, me first, means we got to do this first. And 8 minus 4 is 4. Bring down my minus 2, and 4 minus 2 equals 2. My answer is 2. But what if we switch this order around? What if we said, hey, selfish parenthesis guy, you should go around the 4 and the 2. And the selfish parenthesis say me first. And so I'm going to take 4 minus 2. When I take 4 minus 2, I get 2. And now I bring down my 8 minus 2, and 8 minus 2 equals 6. So there's a big difference in where those parentheses are. So say it with me. Selfish parentheses always say me first. Whenever we get to have problems with parentheses in, we always say me first. Boy, I don't make a very good witch. It kind of makes my head itch. Okay, well anyhow, let's take a look at our example problems today. We're on page 150 in your book. On page 150, we see two example problems. The first one says this. Melody drew 8 flowers. So we got a total of 8 flowers. She painted 4 blue, and then she painted 2 red. How many flowers were not painted? So we got 8 minus 4 plus 2. And we're going to put these in parentheses. Before we can subtract, we got to add these 2 up. Okay? So 4 plus 2 is 6. And then we bring down our 8 minus. Always selfish parentheses go first. And 8 minus 6 is 2. Now, if we wouldn't have those parentheses, we would have said 8 minus 4 is 4 plus 2 is 6. That wouldn't have worked well. And so we got to always do selfish parentheses say me first. To what? 2 flowers that are not painted. Don't forget your label flowers. Example number 2. Now, we're going to compare these ones to see if the associate property works. And we'll talk about the associate property in a second. 2 times 3 times 4. And in the first one, 3 and 4 are in parentheses compared to 2 times 3 times 4. Sounds the same, and the first one's in. So let's go ahead and multiply our selfish parentheses first. 3 times 4 is 12. Bring down our 2. 2 times 12 is 24. 2 times 3 is 6. Times 4 is 24. And 24 compared to 24 is equal. What? That's weird, because over here we said the parentheses make a difference, but here we didn't. Yeah, anytime you got a multiplication sign and a multiplication sign, it doesn't matter. That's the associative property of multiplication. Anytime you have a multiplication sign and a multiplication sign, it doesn't matter. The parentheses don't matter. Now, anytime you have an addition sign plus an addition sign, they don't matter. It's when you mix or match them, or you have a subtraction, or you have a division, that it matters. What are you talking about, Ms. Barr? Well, let's take a look at some of our lesson practices here at the end. That hat gets in the way of some of these numbers, let me tell you. Okay, so here we have 2. We're going to say, does the associative property matter? The associative property says it doesn't matter where the parentheses are, it'll come out the same. Well, let's go ahead and solve this. What's 8 divided by 4? 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 2 divided by 2 equals 1. So on this side I have 1. Does that compare to this? First, let's take 4 divided by 2. We move the parentheses over here now. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now we got 8 left, and 8 divided by 2 equals 4. So on this side we have 4. On this side we have 1. And 1 is less than 4. So does associate property matter here? You bet it does. And I think that it says, does it apply? And so no associate here. Not associate. Not the associate problem here. All right, well, let's go for subtraction. We said it does not work for division. We said it works for multiplication. We said it works for addition. What about subtraction? 8 minus 4 is 4. Bring down my minus 2, and I get 2. 4 minus 2, selfish parentheses say me first. 4 minus 2 is 2. And 8 minus 2 equals 6. Again, for subtraction, it doesn't work. No, it does not work. Not associate. Wow, am I making a mess today? Witches make messes. Well, what about for multiplication? Let's check for multiplication. 8 times 4, that's 32. Now, I don't think you know this one in your head, so you're probably going to have to stack it up. 32 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 3 is 6. Well, we got 4 times 2 equals 8, and 8 times 8 is 64. No matter which way we do these problems, it's still going to be equal. So does the associate property? Yes. This is the associate property of multiplication right here. Doesn't matter where the parentheses are, multiplication and multiplication, it's going to be the same. Same with addition. All right, let's take a look at a couple other of our lesson practices here. On page 151, we just did H, I, and J, so jump back up to the top, and we're going to solve these order of operation problems. We got 6 minus 4 minus 2 in parentheses. Say it with me. Selfish parentheses always say me first. We got to do this part first. So go ahead, 4 minus 2. Some of these you can do in your head. 4 minus 2 is? Good, 2. Then bring down what wasn't in the parentheses, and that's our new problem. 6 minus 2 is 4. We should always have 3 steps here. First, you write it, you solve the first part, you bring down this one, and then you solve the second part. B says 6 minus 4 in parentheses minus 2. Same exact problem with this one, only the parentheses. Remember, for subtraction, they make a big difference. 6 minus 4 is 2. Bring down the last 2. $2 minus $2 is Zicho. You got nada left. And so the parentheses show you there's a big difference here. Look at C. C says division. 8 divided by 4 divided by 2. And the first part is in our selfish parentheses say me first. 8 divided by 4 equals 2. And 2 divided by 2 equals 1. And if we're going to do that one a second time, and we're going to move those parentheses, you're going to see that it makes a difference. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. And 8 divided by 2 equals 4. Selfish parentheses always say me first. We knocked out 2 things today. First of all, we learned about our parentheses. And our witch is so selfish, and she gets her squeaky voice on. She says, selfish parentheses say me first. Always do what's in parentheses first, and then 2. We learned about the associative property. And we're going to say it works for multiplication, and it works for addition. It does not work for division, and it does not work for subtraction. Stay tuned for a few problems.